Well, knife round's already underway. We're going to waste no time. It's the deciding map in this upper bracket. Playoff match, TSM VP, always a doozy. Chewy prediction, you think it's going to be, I think you've already made that prediction quite clear. You think it's going to be TSM.
Yeah, I know, I've made it clear and talked about it a lot. I thought that if VP wanted to win the series, they'd have to do it 2-0, but we know what VP can do on this map, but it's TSM on Mirage. They just were phenomenal on it the other day. I mean, and talking about that map very quickly, just before we go live here, I just think it's worth mentioning that as a neutral fan, like as a caster, when you've not really got a favourite, team or whatever, you just love seeing good Counter-Strike. I love those clean sweeps in one aspect because it's just so amazing seeing teams being able to do that, especially in a grand final, pressure situation, just being able to put on a clinic in that form. But at the same time, you do kind of want a close map, so it's bittersweet in a way. I hope we see a close map here, but I do think that TSM are going to take it.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, one of the things Cloud9 talked about was how good Kerrigan in specific was, and this was in the interview with Jordan and Kerrigan himself after the, or Nothing and Kerrigan after the game, where they interviewed both teams at once on HLTV. And Jordan basically said they couldn't even get their default running because they couldn't get any mid-presence. It was all basically down to Kerrigan annihilating them with the AWP early on, getting early picks, and not allowing them to take any map control. So if Kerrigan can have another game like that, or if Device has that spawn for the window on CT side, then it could be huge. I mean, it was definitely TSM's CT side that was very impressive in that final, and that's exactly the side they're going to start with.
Interesting the Device is going for the Julies here. What do you think about that? Because it's kind of the get-right gun on the pistol rounds going for the Julies. I'm not a fan of them personally, but yeah.
Happy's gone with them a few times on pistol rounds as well. There's definitely a few players, and he's actually got a cool position because he's going to use that smoke to his own advantage. He might be able to backstab them if he can get in behind them, but what's he taking so long for? They've already gone past, and he's just waiting it out inside this smoke. Finally going to make some movement, and it's well-timed. He does take down Bialy, but it leaves it to a 3-on-3, and they've gone immediately through the A site. They've bypassed it and headed toward B.
This has been an absolutely hectic pistol round here, which is exactly what we did want between these two. Neo's going to win that gunfight with the picked up USP over towards Zipniks there, so that's leaving the man advantage now once again in favour of Virtus.Pro. They had a good start to this round, but the Julies are coming in for Device. I questioned what I thought of them, but Device is putting them to good use so far. He will fall though, and it's all left up to KGB. He will pick up one, but Pasha trades out the kill, and what a close encounter there. I hope that round gives us a good indication as to what this final map will be like.
Like, talk about VP. They realize they've one connector, but there has to be another one in the A site, so they just screw it. Why fight? The smoke's already deployed. We don't know where he is. They're already rotating. Let's just barge right through and get to B. I mean, that was well called to rotate back through connector. And I would question if that was a pre-call, because I think that was just completely adaptive by them, and that was well done. Again, though, efficiency on that last kill, not able to collect the last shot, and Pasha picks up the last kill on a trade, which could have easily been down to a one-on-one. But definitely a good pace to start with. So far, though, Kerrigan down in this round early.
Nice tag there from Cajun B onto Neo. That actually was to start things off. But Virtus.Pro looking to clean things up on the smaller B-bomb site. And there we go. Snacks with 2 entry frags there to take down Zipnix. And that player Cajun B with the scout in hand as well. So this should be a relatively easy clean-up here for the remaining Virtus.Pro players. That being said, quite a few of them tagged 3 down to below 30 HP. And Device, the last one left alive, just looking to do some damage with the CZ75. He's low on HP, there's no chance he's going to win the round, just looking to do some damage. But a good start for Virtus.Pro, and that's their second round.
Yeah, I mean, 2 in a row. Again, they're now 3-2 in pistols over the 3 maps. As Virtus.Pro pick up the last 2. Smoke going to go out early, actually. It's going to be a shallow smoke and a decoy out from Neo now. They're going to run it over toward Palace. So pretty much all default heading toward A. 1 solo player in the form of Snacks inside mid, but this is an interesting snack out from TSM here to run through apartments. They're going to get super aggressive, and combined with the player on Catwalk, they're going to have a solid mid presence, so we'll see how fast Virtus.Pro work toward this A site, because if not, they could get caught off before they even execute. Luckily, Pasha's found that first kill, but here it is. Cajun B from underpass, there's the first. We'll see how much more they can get with the distance and pistols. And so far, Virtus.Pro, they just want to cut off the rotation in the act, get all the way towards CT spawn, and it's Zipnix and Kerrigan that fall in a place of that. Leaving just 2 players, make it 1 remaining. And that's a very lonely Device.
I like the idea from TSM there. There's not really too much else they could do in that situation, but the all-important rifles do provide that more powerful situation, and Pasha does get caught there, so a couple of players who ran into jungle didn't spot Device who was in connector, but he is cleaned up. So only 2 casualties for Virtus.Pro as they secure their 3rd round, and I know I don't want to go back onto that last map on Cash too much, but it's going to be interesting to see how Virtus.Pro pick themselves up, because I've just remembered now that on their CT side of Cash, it must have been on their CT, on the second side, they picked up the pistol, and the 2 rounds after that, and then didn't pick up a round again. TSM took 6 in a row, so VAP now have got to pick themselves back up, and this is a good start here for them on Mirage to take those first 3 rounds.
Neo with the cat smoke. Flashes over. In they go. It's going to be all pressure right now on to Zipnix, and he's forced out of position. Does still have this from us in a good angle to line them up. First one goes his way, but Bialy's the one to drop. It's now going to be Pasha, on the rotation coming over from Kerrigan is paying dividends, because the op's taking him down as he gets inside the site, and Zipnix managing to stay alive. Just has to get back up to shut down the apartments. And I'm sorry, sir, you've been evicted. It's now TSM with the first gun.
I just remembered, sorry, it was VP who were on their T round who picked up that. So TSM on their CT on Cash looked really good, taking 6 rounds in a row to close out that map. And again, we saw VP on Cash do a couple of those really aggressive pushes onto a bomb site, just fully commit to it right at the start of the round, and it didn't really work out for them there too much whatsoever, and it didn't in that round once again. So TSM really not letting things kind of phase them out and just showing their class on their CT side on a bomb site, not getting worried when a Hail Mary of grenades, come in their way. They're just looking confident, so good start from them once again.
Nade out early from Kerrigan. That's going to drop down to a little bit of damage. Actually, a heck of a lot of damage onto Snacks. Lands pretty much on his face. As Kerrigan, again, we talked about him with the up being able to get toward the window. Well, he was there, but the smoke was in place. So he wasn't able to do too much with it. He's now changed his angle, changed his position, in fact, entirely, heading over toward the A site, but it's Cajun B only to get 1, gets traded out. Now it's Dupree and Shadow who's going to get caught off by Bialy, because he heard him lurking around, anticipating an angle from the close side, but it's actually Bialy that beats it, so he can't even close off connector. And this means Device, who's coming over from CT, has a smoke in his face and can't do much about it, but there's Kerrigan. Alive late, able to pick up 1, but that's it. Snacks gets back immediately, and Zipnix is in good position. That bomb's not planted, so there is a good chance here for TSM, because Bialy now has to recover that. He's got 2 flashes left to do it with, and he's got it down to a 1-on-1. But what angle could possibly Zipnix use to make this in his favor? Does still have sight of the bomb, but it's going to be AK versus M4. Headshot comes out. Bialy, what an angle to play, and what a way to take it down.
Yeah, so close. Really good round there, but you can see kind of how heartbreaking that is for the TSM economy now. They looked in great stead to take that, but Virtus.Pro just too strong in the aim duels, really, to be quite honest. So they are going to be able to rebuy their weapons here, but TSM, they won that fourth round, but then in round number 5, VP looking good. So now the TSM economy once again has pretty much been broken right down in tatters to the extent where they can't really buy anything whatsoever here. And obviously we know, like as you said, I don't know about that Na'Vi Envy game, but it's just been announced publicly. We can finally talk about it, about the switch between the Envious and Titan players. So it is now final and public.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because there's there's a lot to be said about that. We'll more on that at the end of the match, I think.
Yes, definitely. I just thought I'd mention it now because it's an eco round and not too much going on.
No, it's a perfect conversation. I mean, that was always the initial plan, was to get Kenny in Apex. But the way it was managed, it almost didn't happen. It very nearly didn't. So it's good to see Envious finally forked up the cash to make the transaction go through, because Titan were not willing to give them up easily. Either way, like you said, it's an eco, and we'll see exactly what's going to happen on Catwalk with that aggressive P250. It turns out that Neo's going to get that kill, but Pasha's lurked down. Actually, reverse that. Neo's come through from apartments. It's Pasha that was on the Catwalk, but it leaves a pretty tight position for Kerrigan to be in. Although Kerrigan, they've turned this around. Double kill for him, dropping bomb. He still has to worry about the player on his backside. Unfortunately, that's gone his way as well, because Neo gets dropped on the turn, so bomb's got to be recovered. And it's going to be down to a 2-on-2, AKs versus AKs, as they have recovered them, but no armor, importantly, for the CTs.
Again, just, you cannot underestimate these pistols, and look at this pistol from CageandB. He's been the standout player so far. He will spray and only gets one. Snack's now locked down to 19 points of health, but this is a tricky one with 7 seconds left. Kerrigan, the saviour of this round, potentially. He picked up 2 with the P250. He has been spotted by Snacks, and this is very close indeed. This will be heartbreaking for Virtus.Pro if they lose it. Snacks knows exactly where he is, and they're playing a waiting game, ring around the road.
Well done. I think you cut out there at the end of it, but that was well done. Either way, it was definitely perfectly played from both parties. In fact, I like the bait right at the end, though, from Kerrigan, to fake that he's rushing, getting a little bit panicked, and go to the right and then fall back to the left slowly, and it entirely caught Neo out. Or rather, excuse me, Snacks out, who was trying to rotate around, like you were saying.
I mean, those 2 kills with the P250 just changed it. And again, I know I've used this word before, but I wonder if that's a little bit of complacency there from Virtus.Pro. Great work from TSM. I don't want to take anything away from them. Kerrigan with those 2 kills with the P250. Then they rewarded themselves with a rifle. CageandB in a sneaky little spot in Forest to pick up 1 kill. It was a shame he didn't get the second. And Kerrigan finished things off and rewarded himself with a hat-trick. So nice round from TSM.
And a full eco as well. I mean, that's pretty crucial to pick that up, because now, look, it turns it back entirely the other way. Kerrigan goes immediately to the op again. Late smoke on the window, but Snacks is going to be the one that's pursuing the underpass play, and now they've got actually, they've got 3 players inside mid to go for a presence, and they're going to boost 1. Is Neo going to go for the jump as well? No, he's going to stay close to the smoke and try and fight with CageandB, but CageandB was more than prepared that he was pushed through the gap in the smoke. And that allows now CageandB and Device to add up to their tally, bringing it down to just 2 men remaining, make it 1 as Pasha drops, and the last inside connector, really nowhere to go for Taz.
No, so this will be 3 rounds to 4 here. As soon as Taz gets found out, and there we go, in connector, he will fall to the hands of CageandB. And let's have a look at the VP economy now. It's in a better stead, so they will be able to buy up here after pretty much full ecoing. But again, just going back to that eco round win from TSM, it just instantly punished VP, and you can see that's the thing. Losing that round broke the VP economy. And once again, I know I talk about it a lot, but it just shows how important the economy is on a game of CS.
And this is another important round for that factor. Neo doesn't even want to take the window fight. He plays the close angle. Again, that smoke comes out late, and Kerrigan, who knows that smoke's been coming, actually changes his angle as well and gets annihilated by Pasha, so the op's already out of play. And this could bode very well now for VP, who've got some mid-presence. That bomb's back at Horseshoe, but as it heads back over the A, the indication is likely that it's going to be a split from all 3 choke points in on top of the main site. CageandB is going to be the one playing the top of connector. He's going to come under fire here any second.
And I mean, this is slightly tricky for TSM now. Just being a man down right from the start of the round just allows VP so much room. But look at this sneaky spot from CageandB. He's been the standout player for me on this TSM side so far in this series. And the shoulder has been spotted by Device. He will take down Neo. So that's going to be great for TSM here. They secure the man advantage, and they still do have it here left. in a 3 versus 2 situation. I'm liking this position from Device, not an all too common one there. You know, you can play so many different areas on top of that A bomb site, but by Ali trying to use the smoke to his advantage, it will not happen. And what a hold there from TSM, showing what damage they can do on their CT side, especially after Carrigan went down with that AWP at the start of the round, to turn it back in their favour so convincingly and so quickly, especially with Cajun B and Device starting things off. That was really great work.
And it's interesting. This is one of those rounds where TSM's known for occasionally throwing the op to the front player, and it was Cajun B who has obviously op for them. Does too. He ops all the time on the CT side, but they keep it in Kerrigan's hands, so they aren't looking for these fast peaks. What they do have to be aware of is the fast push, though, from the pistols. They're already inside connector. One player around the corner already dead, but Bialy, he recovers, and now it's Neo. So Virtus.Pro taking a page from TSM's book in round number 5. Looking to go for the eco of their own, but it's going to be recovered. It's going to be turned back. And TSM, despite losing 2, will hold on. And importantly, op stays up as well.
Yeah, and they're going for the double AWP stand-up here. I was literally just about to question whether there was a potential opportunity for TSM to go for the double AWP buy, because they do have the money for it, and they will in fact do that. They're not going to swap it over, so Device, I don't know if he actually got a good spawn there or something like that to pick it up. I know he can AWP, but as you said, Cajun B can be a good CT AWPer as well, but still, let's see what damage they can do with it. And it looks like Virtus.Pro are going for an execute on towards A here.
Smoke with a gap. Smoke at a pancake. Kerrigan's got the pancake. It's the op. Now it's going to be Bialy to go in. He catches Dupree, who thought he had a flash come through from his teammate, but it actually hit the edge of the arch, as you can see the tail of it, and that blinded him on the initial peak, so it backfires against TSM, and that allows Virtus.Pro, 3 players already in from Palace, to enter fully onto the A site. That Molotov actually makes contact with Cajun B, who slides out, gets first shot on Snacks, but immediately goes down after. 18 HP for Taz, still not spotted through the smoke. Finally, the nade will take him out, so it does give the advantage post-plant to TSM, but the bomb is in position now for Virtus.Pro, so money in the next round for sure, but they're going to be able to close this out. Device not able to hit the headshot, swaps to the CZ, long angle to take them down from, and that means Passion now can pick up 2. Chance here to find the 3rd, Neo beats him to it, and Virtus.Pro strike back.
Really close round there, and TSM trying to bring it back in their favour. Just the way that they threw, like, just a simple incendiary grenade to kind of cut the Virtus.Pro players in half. Only a couple of people able to enter out with the aggression onto the A bomb site and push through until that, you know, incendiary grenade kind of died down a bit. But you know, still they looked like they could hold it. And then Pasha just came in and ran havoc. It looked great for TSM to try and retake it, but if you don't win your aim duels, you're going to lose the round, and we're all even once again here. TSM are able to buy up, and that looked like a really close encounter with the AWPs there over in B Apartments.
And Neo committed to that as well, because he thought there'd be a peak after the Molotov came out, so that he would hold the angle, and instead he goes down 52 for nothing.
Yeah. There's little tiny things in those rounds which you try and, you know, point out as casters, which actually make a huge deal in the grand scheme of things.
Well, I mean, we'll see if that plays a factor now, because Neo's low and he's looking for the entry now. He does have the op. That's the benefit of that, because he can still just find that one shot, make the impact as they enter on the site. That's all they need from him. Oh, an important Molotov out from underpass as well, because now Kerrigan can't get the op inside the market nearly as fast, so they'll be able to enter a lot easier from the apartments. And Pasha's going to sit back, double op T side just to see if he can catch any people in rotation. But here we go. It all comes down. And Kerrigan still not there. Finally, he's going to rotate, but they're already around. They're already dropping in, and it's Bialy the first. See what he can find from it. Nothing. Zipmix finds the kill on him, and it's Cajun B dropping the bomb down to the back of the site. This might be TSM's big advantage, and they're saving grace as it allows Dupree to come over late. 2 for him. And the last player remaining, Pasha, well, he's going to get taken down by a jumping pistol.
Lovely hold from TSM. They've actually looked really good on that smaller B bomb site, in my opinion. VP, most of their success, as far as I'm aware, has been over towards A, whilst TSM on B are just looking really good, and even with the aggressive pushes, Virtus.Pro trying to plough their way through the B apartments area. It's not all together worked out for them in as good a stead as they would have hoped for. So, and now VP are going to get punished for it. They're back down to pistols once again. Their economy's been broken, so you know, by the looks of things, like Neo just messing around in T-spawn here, I guess this is an opportunity for Virtus.Pro just to chat now and take a few seconds out to discuss some things and work out what they're going to do for the rest of this half.
Shots coming in with the Glock. It's Device, though, looking for more. He actually gets dropped down. Incredible pistol play right there from VP, as Snack's able to dink him up and then close it out, but call it back the other way, all for TSM, and jumping over, sparring off with Bialy. Dupree's going to get the last kill. TSM 7 rounds now, but Virtus.Pro 5 not. Not tragic, actually, against TSM CT side on this map.
Now we've got the double AWP setup once again in the hands of Device and Carrigan. I keep getting tempted to call him Finnegan because that's what his name is obviously on here. I think Assembler did it this weekend, and I had to look at the screen like, wait, what? Who's Finnegan? And
that's
then
okay.
Obviously I realised.
Nothing confused me more than Hiko Simplevic and Simple Hikovic.
Oh wow, I couldn't handle that. Dupree with an aggressive push there into Amps. I like the idea, but Taz catches him off guard. Nice kill there from Taz to open things up here in round number 13.
Neo wants to get close as well from inside connector. Cajun beat. We've seen them have this battle before, and Cajun got the better of it last time, but Cajun exposing himself a little bit too soon, and I'm sorry, we have to keep it PG, so no exposure for you, as Neo gets the kill. But it's Zipnix to come back on Pasha. This gives him position now to shoot into connector from the backside, but he can't get there fast enough, and that allows Bialy and Snacks to find more in A. It's down to just Zipnix, 1 on 3. He'd have to ace this to win the round, and on 19 HP, I'm sure he's got better plans of holding on to this M4, but it's quite predictable that he's over on the B site, so we'll see if they can hunt him out. And Neo, wouldn't be surprised at all if he jumps down and goes toward the underpass.
This is such a close encounter between these two squads. It's just back and forth, back and forth. I can't really predict it. I mean, again, Mirage is another CT favoured map, so in the grand scheme of things, with the rounds kind of being traded in this fashion, so to speak, this is looking good for Virtus.Pro. If they could kind of take the half 8-7, they'll be in good stead, but it's going to come down to an important pistol round, and whether TSM will take it 4-2 overall in pistol rounds, or whether VP will even things up at 3-3, and then it'll be down to TSM on their T rounds. There's still a lot to play for here between these two squads. No predictions on my behalf now really as to what can happen for the rest of this game because this is so close. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm not going to change last minute and say that Virtus.Pro are going to take it. But
oh no, you're not allowed to do that.
No, of course that's like against Caster's code #1. Just the #1 rule is to not back out of your prediction.
I think that's just like against anyone's prediction.
Yeah,
that's like against the code of being a man.
I certainly agree.
Stick to your guns.
TSM are going to take it, but like Virtus.Pro are definitely giving them a good fight. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, we'll see what Snacks can do on his entry. He's already covered off Shadow with the Molotov. Goes for the smoke play to allow him a deeper entry, but Device isn't smoked off enough from CT because he's on ticket booth with the AWP and finding the first kill. He'll fall back to safety, but Bialy's managed to pick up Dupree just before that. So they still have this entry, and Taz, Bialy, they each pick up both Kerrigan and Device as they come into the site. Nice crossfire position. This allows Bomb to go down, and Zipmix, late rotation, has Cajun B to work with from Connector, and Cajun B, he's now left alone as Pasha finding the first. There's not much he can do. Cajun B comes up the stairs to his demise. 7-7, Virtus.Pro pulling back into this and recovering the AWP just at the end of the round.
And now look at the money for TSM here. It's not in a good stead whatsoever. So VP pretty much looking good to potentially take the half. That being said, we saw TSM with a full eco round win earlier on. So they've got 2 fan masses in hand, no defuse kits, only a couple of grenades to work with. So VP still the favourite to take this one, but you can never count TSM out. And going into the last round, let's see who's going to take it. There we go. This is why I said you can't count them out. Look at these 2 entry frags. Will they get another one? Dupree picks up the 3rd there. And despite Virtus, I even knocked my water bottle off the table. I got so excited by that, but despite TSM having the weaker weapons, they're looking in good stead to win the half.
Well, they've definitely thrown themselves that favor. It was a 5-on-2. Pasha pulls it back a little bit. Now it's Taz's turn to find Device. It's not over yet because there's not a whole lot of utilities left on either side, so there's a chance if the shots come the way of Virtus.Pro, they can just walk into the site. Bombs down toward A main. That's where Pasha's heading. In fact, actually, he's gone above just to make sure he covers all the angles first. Now we'll go back and grab it. 49 seconds. Oh, and Dupree. The timing of this might work out perfectly. He gets into Shadow, but it actually works out that Taz goes immediately past him, and Cajun's not going to be aware of that either. It does mean they both still have to enter from the same side of the site, and they'll have heard that jump on top of Tetris. But no, Dupree, he can't get the shot before his teammate goes down, so it leaves the crossfire to come in. Luckily, Dupree does close out on the second, and they had Zipnix there for support. It's 8 rounds to TSM. They just barely squeak out the win in the first half.
That was important for Dupree in the grand scheme of things. I know, like, just the amount of frags that you get isn't the most important thing, but he'd only sat on 6 frags that entire half before then, so for him to pick up a quad to finish things off here, especially 2 with that 5-7 at the start of the round to secure the man advantage and pick up a rifle as well, that was huge, potentially for his motivation there. Great work from TSM, they win the half, and now this is the key moment. I'm looking forward to this pistol round.
Remember, it's 3-2 pistols over the first two maps on the start of this one, excuse me, the start of this one did go to VP, but it's Neo this time that's actually going to add to that tally, making a better case for them to pick up and even that score. As Zipnix, though, right back into it, as is Device. Snacks, though, inside Sandwich, just waiting for them to come around. He knows the call has been from Connector, but how much further are they going to go? Bialy, very low on HP. Device finds him as well. A second for him in the round, but here comes the crossfire. A player in jungle. And a player on the Sandwich. The player in jungle drops very quickly. Pasha getting very aggressive, and Snacks goes all the way back to Tetris. He wants to bait them into this bomb plant on the A site. He's hoping they'll cross in front of him, but TSM, far too smart for that. They're going to head back toward B for this plant.
And Cajun B just lurking here in towards the connector area. Snacks has been found, and actually Cajun B misses his shots initially, but does clean it up. So TSM win the pistol battles overall in this series with a score of 4-2, and now will look to extend their lead here on this T side of Mirage. And I mean, Sadicus, what do Virtus.Pro do here now? I mean, obviously they're going to be on a full eco here, and well, actually Neo's going to force it up with a scout, but like they're in a tricky spot because TSM are in danger of running away with this one if they pick up the momentum.
They got to focus on breaking economy. They've got to get as many kills in these rounds. Obviously, picking up an eco would be amazing, but try and prevent bomb plants before the round expires, possibly. Take down as many kills as they can to keep this economy close, and then that way when the first gun comes out, if they pick that up, they'll have a real chance of getting back into it immediately and breaking TSM. So that's got to be the goal, but right now, it's not even going to come close to that. Very little damage out, and 4 players already lost. The 5th down, but Pasha, there's 1 kill. So there will be 1 upgrade, but they need to get 2 to 3 kills in each of these rounds if they really want to make a case for breaking it immediately.
And, I mean, like, let's see if they try to force things up into some extent here, upgrade some pistols maybe. I don't think they will, and they're not going to. They're just going to say, make sure they can go for that full buy. We all know that it is more expensive on the CT side, so they're going to look to save up.
This is definitely one of the other aspects. Yeah, they're going to the rifles. Device, this is one of the first times we've seen an SMG come out. And of course, he was the one that went down, so he's the one that picks it up. But look at this stack. Device is scouting it. The good news is he's solo, so yes, he'll go down. Now, he only saw 1. He actually didn't spot anyone else. So this stack isn't fully spotted right now from TSM. Luckily, again, though, he was alone, so they're not going to head that direction. But watch out. Neo's in a position to backstab. Shots come out. Not able to do massive damage. Dupree down to 59, and Neo has to fall back and readdress. Pasha's going to come out and try and help out, but they're already in toward A.
They are, and we can see the quick rotation coming in. Neo actually takes down Carrigan there, so this is potentially looking good for Virtus.Pro. It is looking very good indeed for Virtus.Pro as they finish things off in style. And, well, you talked about them needing to break the economy. That is certainly one way to do it. Team Solo Mid will be able to buy up once again here, but still, that was crucial for Virtus.Pro to be able to take that. That is going to boost their economy tenfold. And what a round now. We've seen both teams winning eco rounds here on this map.
And look how much pressure that puts on this particular round, because they both bought up and they're both broke. So whoever wins this round is going to get a massive head start or a massive boost in this half. I mean, that stack, it was a full rotation for Virtus.Pro. That was on a retake. That wasn't even a walk-in, so that works out well. And Bialy, he's going to get aggressive at mid. We didn't actually see any of this out of TSM. We see it out of Kingwin. We see it out of Mouse Sports. TSM never really played it this style. And Bialy now with the hat trick, he's just taking it to them. And Virtus.Pro, this will give them a huge opportunity to leap forward in this game.
Will he get the ace? Oh no, Device denies it just at the end there, but still Bialy with enough damage dealt, and Device does respond, tries to do more damage, and actually pick up the hat-trick himself, but eventually Snacks closes out the round, and that moves Virtus.Pro now once again within 1 round of TSM, but they should be able to equalise things up and push both teams onto double figures here because, well, as you spotted out, both teams are broken, and TSM is broken on their economy now. You pretty much don't get lower than 4 players below $2,000 in cash.
I mean, the saving grace to that round is Bialy picked up 4, but then Device, like you said, had the hat trick. So he did weaken the economy of 3 players, because if you look, there's 76 left for Snacks and 55 for Taz. They were the 2 that remained alive. I mean, it's remarkable how quickly the other 3 players could have been that high, and then it's that much harder for TSM later in the half to pick this back up, but bit of an awkward play inside mid. They actually allowed Snacks to go down to 29 before securing that kill, but here we go. Now they're staying all alive. This is when it starts to get scary for TSM.
Yeah, clean sweep by the looks of things for Virtus.Pro, and Carrigan is over towards T-spawn, so it's just going to be a matter of time before he is hunted down. Going to maybe try and, at best, go for a bomb plant or something, but with just a Glock in hand and no other items to help himself out with, he's been spotted. He will fall to the hands of Taz, and as suspected, all evened up here. 10-10 will be the score, and as we head into round number 21, we actually do have a pause into play. I don't know if it's a technical pause or whether the teams are allowed a tactical pause. It's a TeamSpeak problem, apparently, so there we go, it is a technical one. But what do you think about Device going for the AWP here? You know, it is kind of something that you would suspect out of him, but it's kind of crucial that he does some damage with it, again, for that economy factor, if not anything else.
I don't mind it in this round. I mean, you go back to Train, we saw them go for the double up CT side, and that was ultimately what really hurt their economy early. But in this case, they're going to be on to a save the next round anyway, because the money bonus isn't going to be fully accumulated against them. So unless they get a bomb plant, they would be looking at a save. So why not gamble? Try and get the op out, look for the entries from Device, and potentially, I mean, pick up the round. This could be a turning point. So I don't mind this gamble at all. It's not a situation where they're going to buy next round regardless. They have to get a bomb plant. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see if he can find the opening with it. He's been a little bit slower today than normal, but he's got a decent spawn to actually rush it over toward A really quickly. He's going to head Palace.
Let's see what they decide to do here. And we can see, I think that's actually going to be Snacks and Taz, the two men initially holding down the A-bomb site here. I'm liking the potential aggressive push here, but Cajun B is more than aware of it. Snacks didn't even get a flashbang through there to give himself some form of advantage. He just pushed through aggressively, and maybe a bit too aggressively, as he will fall and gives the man advantage now to TSM. Bialy will respond though, and that's Carrigan down. I think Carrigan missed a few shots there. Will be punished for it. Taz looking to do some damage himself. It's, you know, trays all over the place here. 3 versus 2.
Oh, big kill from Neo, but it is traded by Dupree, and he now has sight position. That kill is extremely important against Bialy because that'll allow the bomb to get a little bit closer, but there's no smoke off to CT spawn, and that means Pasha can line them up. How does Device get the plant now? It's down to a one-on-one. Pasha, he's going to actually fall back, so that's how Device will find the space. But it's Op versus M4 and Device. Is there any guns even nearby? There has to be one toward the CT spawn. I think there's one just to his left right now. But he's got to find this angle and play it close. It's going to be the Op and whiffs again. Device has been off on so many occasions today in these situations. And he goes for the second shot. It's to Op for Op as he picks up another. Maybe this one's got the sights cleaned and the barrel adjusted because the no-scope's successful. But that was far too close for comfort.
Yeah, and Pasha, in all honesty, really should have picked up that round there. The fact that Device missed 2 shots, and yeah, he was, you know, hiding and dipping, ducking and diving and dodging and all that jazz, you know, still Pasha wasn't able to pick up the frag there. So TSM will pick up the round, and we can see their economy's okay. I mean, like, and now it really doesn't surprise me that Device has just gone, okay, nope, I've had enough of the AWP. Cajun B, you take it, but Cajun B will fall to the hands of Neo.
So VP again opening things up. I mean, if this continues at this pace, I mean, TSM's still on the back foot in this. There's no question about it. They still need ultimately another round just to get the cushion working and break the economy completely. But if this continues back and forth like this is going to be a really good third game. As it's already shaped up quite well. It's late smoke, Taz. No op, just the M4, but this will prohibit his vision, allow a little bit more push down mid, but they've got to be so careful because they still have Bialy to contend with on Catwalk, and there's no smoke, although that flash discourages them. In fact, that nade's going to come out well thrown from Device.
Now back into 4-on-4. Look at this aggressive push. I was just about to point it out, and it does come up on the screen. So Snacks finding some information there over towards the A-ramp area. I think that was Zipnik's the man that he found, but no frags whatsoever. Dupree playing sneaky beaky like in the connector area. Neo just the other side of the smoke, and we'll see who wins this engagement as they look to peek around the corner. Dupree wins it even though Neo shot first there, and that's a huge kill for TSM to get that man advantage. Pasha on short is going to find Dupree though, and now all evened up once again. All the havoc will ensue on this larger A-bomb site here. Snacks takes down Zipnix. He's going to get the second kill here, and TSM being closed down one by one. Up from the top, Pasha will take down Device, and we are all even.
And there you go. Virtus.Pro escape. Economic terror. That was a really good play by Snacks to get forward in the site, to play Firebox in his advantage. It's a tough spot if you're spotted early to get out of, obviously, but if you can use it to your advantage, pick up... I mean, even that first kill was crucial enough because that allowed the rotation to come over and slowed the push, but picking up the second pretty much sealed the round. So good work from him. Now it's Neo with the op this time toward window. We don't have Taz there with the M4, and look at the pistols again, TSM. Again, damaging economy is going to be the name of the game. They've got to do something to make sure that when they win a round, it's not the end of the world, that they can hold on. Because right now, no lost round bonus going their way. Need bomb plants as much as possible. And 1-for-1 trade, not a bad start, but that gives Bialy the chance to take down Carrigan.
And I mean, it's pretty much a full save. Well, it is a full save from TSM. I don't even really think they upgraded pretty much any pistols whatsoever. So the bomb will be found, and with Pasha down, it is 4 versus 1 here. Zipnik's the last one left alive, just going to make his way through B-Apps now, but it's just going to be a matter of time before he falls, and Virtus.Pro will secure the lead once again here. 12-11 will be the scoreline. It's still very close to call, but in the grand scheme of things, looking at the VP economy, it's so strong right now. So they're in really good stead to take this map.
It's still so tight on TSM side as well. Again, no bomb plant that time. They're on the brink of forcing, but yeah, okay, Tech 9. That I don't disagree with. A force would have been a force would have ultimately thrown away, unless they win it, thrown away any chance of getting back into this quick. But again, they need these bomb plants, so they'll go to A. It's a little bit quicker access to the bomb site. If they can work out Palace and easily get smokes to isolate the players playing defensively. But Snacks is forward, and Snacks, there's 1, there's 2 potentially, and now it's going to be a trade coming out either way, but it's a T-kill. In fact, Kerrigan takes down Device, who gets in his way, so that's not going to work wonders at all. Luckily, Kerrigan makes up for it by taking down Snacks, but he's left in a 1-on-3, and again, no bomb plant, has an M4, smokes around if he can at least deter them enough, but a minute left. We'll see if he can divide and conquer and try and get a site plant somewhere. He does have it to work with, but this is desperate.
Yeah, it's very desperate now, and it's crunch time here on Mirage. This has been such a great series between these two teams. Exactly what we wanted to hope for out of these, you know, and now we're into just the last few rounds. This is the time where it all comes down to these kind of plays, and I don't think Carrigan's going to be able to take this one, and we can see the rotation coming in from Bialy, the initial man, over towards the B-bomb site, so that's where the engagement will happen. If Carrigan can pick up the frag here, enter onto the site, he may be able to get a bomb down, and that's exactly what he's going to be able to do. Plenty of time to play with, so the 1 versus 3 is still on.
And Neo's going to slow himself down by trying to go for this jump to get to Catwalk quicker. Failed it on the first attempt. And he blew out the vents. So this should be obvious for Kerrigan which way he's coming, and Kerrigan, that's a freebie. I don't know if I agree with that play from Neo at all, and now it's down to the 1-on-1. He's actually tagged up Pasha on the first shot, so HP fairly even, 50 versus 59. Molotov to force Kerrigan's position, but that actually puts him in better cover, and Kerrigan, what a recovery in the round.
And
Talk about using the time. Yeah, exactly. Ace, that's ridiculous. I mean, I was talking about just getting a bomb down. That's an eco, a Tech 9 eco, where he wins it 1-on-3 with an ace overall.
I mean, I said the 1 versus 3 clutch. I don't know if that was even a 1 versus 4, whether he was left alone, you know, before then, but just the confidence to be able to pick that up. And I don't mean to call out, you know, sloppy play, but that was sloppy play there from Virtus.Pro. But whatever Carrigan did right, Virtus.Pro did wrong as well. They really should have closed out that round, but what a play from Carrigan there. He is tagged up to 36 HP at the start of this round, so that's disappointing for him, but Pasha actually going for the shotgun by here, so that's interesting, but still, that's a way to, you know, bring yourself back into it. I said it was crunch time, and what a time to choose to perform in such good fashion.
Well, that's exactly the round they need. I mean, this puts it all back on level playing field. Pasha with the shotgun. I mean, that's insane. Obviously, like you said, it was sloppy play. You'll never see you know, an ace in a clutch situation without someone making a mistake here or there, but that could have been handled so much better from VP, and what a difference it would have made in their game. Because it would be 13-11. Yes, they would have been able to potentially buy with that bomb plant down, but even that could have been prevented early enough. So we'll see how this plays out. It's going to be Pasha that's pushed up inside apartments. Does have the shotgun to work with, as mentioned, but the bomb grouping outside of A right now, and the single player lurking for TSM is Kerrigan, and he's made his way up the ladder, so he can actually cut off anyone who rotates either catwalk or inside the window room. Really good position, really strong position for him to be in. And he's not even peeking through the vents at this point. He doesn't want to give himself up too early. He wants to let his teammates get in position, but now they are. So now they go, but it's all Virtus.Pro. This easy lineup on the crossfire. Zipnik's gets 1, but Virtus.Pro, what an answer to the last round. Never mind the eco. They come back with 4 alive, and what a play.
Yeah, almost certainly so. And I mean, it's a shame there for Dupree. He actually got the kind of the jump onto Snacks over towards the shadow area, just underneath the balcony and the scaffolding near Palace. But he wasn't able to land his shots, and Snacks completely punished him for it. And I had a feeling that if Dupree maybe had picked up the entry and done some more damage there, that could have been a much more of a close situation. But credit to Virtus.Pro, as you do say, you know, after losing a round where they really shouldn't have lost, to come back and dominate in round number 25 is exactly what they wanted to do. And TSM punished once again. It's going to be a force by only 2 rifles here.
I mean, that's the thing. They still haven't really taken a stranglehold as TSM, despite that eco. And now they're going to rush through. Snacks is just going to hold down the trigger. Does pick up the second kill, and somehow, how does he stay alive? He pushes through the smoke, and how do they overlook that as well? Because they knew he was there. They killed the player on Tetris. Did they completely think there was only one player spamming through? The obituary should have indicated otherwise, as 2 names showed up. But it's Bialy to take down Dupree. That's going to close it out. And Virtus.Pro, This is looking so solid for them now, is it not?
It is indeed. And again, I'm obsessed with this Vulcan thing. I've actually never used it before, but I think I'm really going to get into it because I think you picked Bialy and Snacks as your two for Virtus.Pro.
I have all 4 of the top players right now.
Look at that, man. You're on form with it today. I had the predictions right for the first map, and predictions for Vulcan's going well so far in this series, so we're not doing too bad as casters. Everybody likes us to be proved wrong, but we're doing alright, and okay, GoDV completely lagged and missed the whole round.
Yeah, it definitely did. So that means Neo's now going to pick up the op. It's going to be a buy for TSM to see if they can slow this down. But how close did they come to breaking the economy after that eco? One round would have made all the difference for TSM, and it would be still a back-and-forth battle. Instead, Virtus.Pro, they just escape a defeat. And we'll see how this pans out.
Oh, Taz and Neo, look at that, aggressive down mid, I think, once again. Yeah, look at it. They've now forced TSM once again onto the back foot, not only in the whole game, but in this round. Dupree will respond. Nice frag onto Taz there, but VP looking to close this one out, and that kind of eco round win and the crazy clutch from Carrigan just looked like a stop in momentum. And well, I said that casters don't, we've not been proved wrong so far. My prediction looks like it's gone down the drain. Virtus.Pro taking it in good fashion on Mirage by the looks of things, but still, TSM aren't quite out of it yet. They've got Zipnix and Cajun B, the last 2 left alive. Cajun B, our standout player for TSM, well, my standout player so far. Let's see what damage he can do.
Definitely a solid series. As Cajun B, he's the one that's looking for this entry right now. We're still going to have a lurk from Bialy pushing up toward middle to get more information, but that actually means that there's less players inside A, and he's a lot further away to support Snacks, but Snacks might be able to do it himself. He does. That's the first kill. This will bring both players back, and had that kill gone the other direction, I dare say TSM easily would have had a bomb plant and potentially the round, but now Zipnix, they're just going to swarm, they're just going to push, and, well, he collects the first, but that's going to be it. It's 16-12, Virtus.Pro. They'll take the series 2-1, but what a series it was. This rivalry, online, LAN obviously more so, but online still put up a good fight today, and it was entertaining all the way through.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as a caster, obviously I'm happy to cast whatever series, but when you asked me if I wanted to cast VP versus TSM, I was straight on it. There's no way that I'm turning down, despite, as I said earlier, having 3 hours sleep in 35 hours, there's no chance that I'm missing that series. So great performance from both teams. It was so close, it was back and forth, a kind of what I would class as a convincing game on train, just because VP looked good, even though there was only 6 rounds in it. Then TSM brought it back on cash in dominant fashion, had such a great T-side, taking 10 rounds, I think, on their T-side to start things off, and then a back and forth encounter, so it wasn't one-sided whatsoever here, in my opinion, on Mirage. It was just back and forward, and that economy factor was just so huge, and a couple of kills either way, it really could have turned out differently, but congrats to Virtus.Pro.
And in the other series, the other match, the lower bracket match that was going on the corresponding channel, One Game Agency, Mouse Sports actually lose to Flipside, who don't have Simple. They're running with Davcost now due to Simple's choice to take a break. And Mouse Sports, when is something going to give? Because this is a team that reformed entirely. Obviously, they got rid of what I thought was their best player. A lot of people thought was their best player, Nico, so they could go back to speaking German. But when's something going to give? This is a team that Kerrigan was on, Alu was on. They've had such great talent go through that lineup and through that organization, and yet they just can never put it together themselves. So Flipside moved forward with an impressive game, because I'd like to almost catch a demo of that, because Dav cost in and they still pick up the win. There had to be some big games from, I assume, players like Bondic and World Edit, who I also happen to have on Vulcan, so hopefully that's the case. But it's going to be TSM now that moved down to play Penta, and Na'Vi versus Team Envy, their new roster. Now, that means they could actually play out this series, and where it's an online matchup, and they're not going to CEVO this weekend, there's a really good chance that this will be a great practice league for them to play with a new 5.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that, and it's good that if that Envy versus Navi game does go ahead, that it's not just defaulted there. You never like to see a game get defaulted, and I know it's a tricky spot, obviously, with a roster move in place, but as you say, it's a perfect opportunity for Envy to kind of warm up, get things going, and introduce themselves as players. They've all played with each other before, but, not for a while, so I hope that's a good series, actually, between the two.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. And Penta, that's impressive stuff from them, because they're the German roster that actually lost their core. They lost 3 of their members to Mouse Sports. They lost, remember, Penta, it was almost weird. Mouse Sports had all this praise for being a well-known organization, and everyone was always hyped about them. But Penta was the team that made it through into the top 8 in 2 consecutive majors. And yet no one ever really gave them that credit. It was like, oh, it's Penta, whatever. And now they've lost their 3 core, and again, they outperform Mouse Sports here. By the way, though, they don't actually get their direct invite to the next major by making it to the top 8, because the 3 players that left, that's considered, as I mentioned, the core. That goes to Mouse Sports. The invite stays with the players, so Mouse Sports obviously get that invitation. So Penta's got to do it the hard way again. Either way, they move forward. TSM to play them, and Virtus.Pro, they'll await the winner of of Envy and NV. not a Sincere. That's interesting. That one always throws me off.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's pretty good though. Like, it's actually a stacked playoff section as a whole. I'm looking forward to seeing who ever Virtus.Pro has to face up against in the winners bracket final. But then in the lower brackets as well, you would suspect that these 4 teams, or the the potential 3 teams now with TSM being dropped down into the lower bracket, that like the powerhouse tier 1 teams would make their way through. But you never know with Flipside and Penta. They can do an upset now and again. Kinguin going down. A lot of people would suspect that maybe Kinguin could take that series against Penta, but Penta prevails strong, so you never quite know. A lot more to come in the CounterPit playoffs.
Well, with that said, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time, hopefully. And of course, that's today's matches listed still on the left side that haven't scheduled. Obviously, where it's a bracket that depends on what teams are playing, we haven't scheduled the next matchups. But likely, now that Envy's secured their roster with Kenny S and Apex, that's going to be pretty exciting to watch. We should have that scheduled fairly soon with Na'Vi, and then, of course, the other games will be scheduled accordingly around that. So once that's ready to go, I'm sure we'll tweet about it. Follow CounterPit on Twitter, and you'll get all the updates. And we'll see you then. Thanks a lot, guys, and thanks so much, Chewy, for joining me.
My pleasure. Good to see you. Cheers, man.